Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we took on the post-game the main post-game mission for Pokemon FireRed, helping Celio set up communications with the Hoenn region. So in today's video, we're going to be going around and taking on and catching all the legendary Pokemon we can, as well as exploring Seven Island. As you can see, I'm starting off with Deoxys on Birth Island. Yeah, it takes... Yeah, you need to... Yeah, you need to carefully make sure you move the triangle around so that it gets all red like that. Anyhow, as we begin, remember as always to show your support for the channel by hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. Yeah, and in these games, Deoxys takes on one of its 4 different forms, depending on which version you're playing. Since we're playing FireRed, it's most likely it'll be the attack form, which I was right about. Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon. This Deoxys has transformed into its aggressive guise. It can fool enemies by altering its appearance. Yeah, first time I took that puzzle on and when I was playing Leaf Green for the Switch, it took me quite a few tries, eventually requiring me to look up how to do it. Now we're here at Naval Rock, and here we have the opportunity to take on we can take on both Ho-Oh and Lugia. But first, oh, I guess we can't ride our bicycle in here. Yeah, those 2 routes just take us to dead ends. Now here's where you have to think strategically, because going down like this will get us an encounter with Lugia, while if we go the other way, we will have the opportunity to take on Ho-Oh. Yeah, there's Lugia. Alright. Fortunately for me, I still have plenty of Master Balls to use. Which makes catching these guys a lot easier. Lugia, the diving Pokemon. It is said to be the guardian of the seas. It is rumored to have been seen on the nights of a storm. Yeah, and a flap of its wings also causes storms that last for 40 days. I think that's what it says. Anyhow, now we're gonna head back this way and go and take on Ho-Oh, as well as net us some Sacred Ash. And I like how they put this as both Naval Rock and Birth Island as post Elite Four bonuses, because it now gives the modern generations a fair chance of trying to nab up Ho-Oh and Lugia, as well as Deoxys as well. Ho-Oh, the rainbow Pokemon. A legend says that its body glows in 7 colors. A rainbow is said to form behind it when it flies. Whoop, can't forget. Yeah, if we use the item finder where Ho-Oh was, we'll find some sacred ash. Well, now we can head out of here and continue on. I'm gonna go ahead and head over to 7 Island since we're gonna be at the Vermilion Port anyhow. Yeah. Now we're at 7 Island. Yeah, there's not really much here to do apart from going to Trainer Tower just north of here. Alright, and our little eggy is about to hatch, so... Or it's close to hatching, I should say. Whoops. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to battle this lady. Yeah, but her Pokemon are... But her first Pokemon's a Grass type, which is no match for our Charizard. And our second Pokemon is also a Grass type. Yeah, so now we can now mosey on further down this way. Whoops. Yeah, I did not mean to get caught by that guy. But at least he only has 2 Pokemon on him. First of which being a Weepin' Bell. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Charizard. Ooh, a Fanpy. Yeah, I'll just switch over to Scyther so we can nap this little guy up. Excuse me. I am very burpy right now. And once again, these Johto Pokemon want to be very difficult with being caught. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Got it. Now we just have to keep navigating through this valley here. Or Savalt Canyon, I should say. Oh wait, I guess we... Yeah, that's just the canyon entrance, and this is Savalt Canyon proper. And I'm fairly certain that we can catch a version exclusive Skarmory here too. Yeah, and before anything else, we gotta go over here to this little cave over yonder to activate where our next destination, the Tanabe Cave or Key. None of my Pokemon can use strength, so it looks like I'm gonna have, really am going to have to double back and get Machamp. But the egg is close to hatching, so anyhow, so I think I can go ahead and box Slugma for now. I guess it's level 38 that it has to evolve at. Yeah, I know I know it would be easier just to teach either Lapras or Charizard how to use Strength, but I kind of like the move pool that I've got for them so far. And I'd much rather not have them forget any moves if I don't have to make them forget it. So now we gotta travel all the way back through the canyon entrance and back to the Tanabe Key. Yeah, I don't need any more Fanpy, so we can just leave them be. Alright, we gotta be careful with how we place these boulders, because I don't want to do that. Basically, we just want to put these boulders into these individual holes right here. And get these guys all in place. Yeah, and with that, we can now enter the Tanabe chambers and catch ourselves some unknown. And you know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and teach Machamp how to use Rock Smash. I'll have it forget Earthquake, and then I can always take it back to the move tutor and or the move deleter in Fuchsia City to have it forget it. Then I can teach it another move instead. Yeah, but before we continue, there's just one thing I want to grab right over here. Yeah, we got ourselves a King's Rock. Alright, and here's the Tanobe Ruins. Technically, we only need to... each of these ruins house a different set of unknown. Like for the Dilford Cave here, we can find J, L, P, Q, R unknowns. Yeah, we can encounter all the forms of unknown that are available, including the exclamation mark and question mark unknown. And the one we've just encountered is the R unknown. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with on Leaf Green catching all these unknown because I've heard a potential rumor that catching all 28 forms of unknown can grant us the opportunity to try and catch to get the old sea chart, which would allow us to have an encounter with Mew on New Island or whatever the island is called. But surprise, surprise, it was just a rumor and not a very reliable one. And over here is Trainer Tower. Here we can head through here and battle every trainer we can to try and earn some fabulous prizes, but since it's not exactly a mandatory place, there's no reason for us to even go there. So I'll be taking us back to 6 Island so we can take on the Pattern Bush and to try and catch some bug Pokemon. And further past the Pattern Bush is the Altering Cave, which was supposed to have quite a number of rare Johto Pokemon, including Stantler, Mareep, Teddiursa, etc., etc. But they never really patched it in these games, so there's no real point in going that way. So I'm just gonna explore around in here and to try and catch some bug Pokemon, including this here Heracross. Yeah, and I really like Heracross as a Pokemon. Yeah, it's tanky, it's got considerable attack power, and not to mention it's just iconic as a bug Pokemon. Yeah, the only other two new bug Pokemon we can catch in the pattern bush is either Spinarak or Leddyba, and depending on the version you're playing, one appears more than the other. I think in FireRed, we'd have a better chance of finding Spinarak than Leddyba, because I'm not gonna lie, it took me quite a while to try to catch a Spinarak in Leaf Green. Well, I got swarmed with nothing but Leddyba. I'm also not going to try to go after the roaming legendary because there's no way to indicate where. There's no real easy way to indicate where to find it. So. But at least now we've got ourselves our Spinarak. And of course it had to poison us. No matter, because one Pokemon, or Pokeball, should be all we need to catch it. Alright, now I'll full restore Scyther here. Let's see if I can't try to catch a second Spinarak. Just so I can trade it for a Leddyba in Leaf Green. Yeah, it didn't take too long. Anyhow, once we leave the pattern bush, all that's left to do now is head back to Cerulean City and take on Cerulean Cave, and to catch the infamous Mewtwo. Yeah, hopefully by the time we get there, the egg will begin to hatch. Then I can switch out my team for my team of all-stars. Yeah, and much like in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, all the Pokemon we're going to encounter in here are seriously high-level Pokemon. So we need to be on our guard at all times. Alright, is it through this way? No it is not. Yeah, as you can see, we're going to be starting to encounter a much higher level Pokemon than we did, than we have previously. Alright, I'm just gonna grab this items and then we'll continue on with exploring Cerulean Cave. Alright, I think we can go this way. I don't need another Ditto. Magneton. Hang on, how many? I've only got one Master Ball left. I still would like to try to, at least try to catch the roaming legendary. So I think I'll go ahead and try and duplicate the Master Ball. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've duplicated the Master Ball a few more times, and now we can venture further in. I also switched out. It changed around my team a little bit. I'm quite happy that we managed to also hatch ourselves our little Togepi. Alright, I know that this is the way to... This is the fastest way to get to where we need to go. Yeah, as you can see, this Wobbuffet is crazy strong. We can't exactly run away because of Shadow Tag. I've also got, as you can see, I also gave Togepi the EXP share, just so I can gain some XP. Yeah, just so that things can move a little faster, I'm giving Charizard the Cleanse tag to help keep wild Pokemon away. Oh wait, no, we can't go this way because it will lead us to a dead end. don't need a Machoke, so... Alright, so here's the floor we want to be on. Alright, I'll grab this Max Revive. And wild Pokemon are starting to get up there in the 60s in terms of level. I'm not counting any of the legendary Pokemon we've encountered because of course they're going to be way stronger. Yeah, I think this Ditto might be the strongest of all the Pokemon we've encountered. Yep, and here's Mewtwo. Okay. Now we've got ourselves Mewtwo. A Pokemon whose genetic code was repeatedly recombined for research. It turned vicious as a result. Well, yeah, given the lore behind Mewtwo and all that. Well, anyhow, that's the last bit of the encounters for FireRed and Leaf Green. Or for FireRed, I should say. And I think that should do it for this video. So I think I'll call it here. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. And remember, as always, to show your support for the channel by hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. And until next time, peace out.